Are you tired of the 9 to 5? The endless grind? Today, we're going to ditch that outdated career playbook. We are building your blueprint for 2026, and we're focusing on real, tangible strategies to generate income outside of a traditional job. So let's dive right in.
Let's just start by tearing down a core belief we're all taught. This quote from investor Mark Tilbury, it just hits the nail on the head. We're always told to trade our time for money, but what if you could plant assets and systems that actually grow money for you? That right there, that's the mindset shift we're talking about today.
So what exactly is passive income? Well, the most important part is this. It's not about getting something for nothing, not at all. It's about building or buying assets and creating systems that bring in revenue without you having to be hands-on all the time. The whole goal is to decouple your earnings from the hours you work.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to challenge the old rules of wealth. Then, we'll explore the creator economy, which is just booming. From there, we'll get our hands dirty with some real-world assets, and then look at some future-focused investing. And finally, we'll pull it all together into a plan you can use for 2026.
You know the old path, right? Get a job, buy a house, work for 40 years, and just hope you can retire. Well, let's be honest, that path is kind of broken for a lot of people now. The new rules are all about building multiple income streams and owning assets that work for you, not just swapping your time for a paycheck.
All right, let's start in the digital world because the creator economy has opened up ways to build wealth that were pretty much unimaginable just a few years ago. This is where you can literally turn your knowledge and your passions into actual profit. Take dropshipping, for example. It's totally evolved. The old way was a race to the bottom. Low margins, super fragile. But the 2026 approach? It's all about branded dropshipping. Instead of just being a random reseller, you build a brand that people trust. And what does that mean? It means you can charge more, you get loyal customers, and you build a real sustainable business.
And then there's YouTube. It's not just for cat videos anymore. It is the biggest streaming platform in the world, bigger than Netflix. But here's the secret. The real money isn't in the ads. That's often just a tiny piece of the pie. The smart creators build a community and then sell their own products or courses. And look at this. You don't need millions of subscribers to make a six-figure income. Not even close.
But hey, maybe being on camera just isn't your thing. That's totally fine. There are still ways to cash in. You can be the middleman, connecting brands with influencers and taking a cut. It's called brand deal flipping. Or you can build these little niche affiliate websites about hobbies you already love. Could be anything from fishing to knitting, and you earn commissions without ever having to show your face.
Okay, let's shift gears. We're moving from the digital world to the physical one. And believe it or not, there are some really innovative and kind of surprising ways to build wealth with actual, tangible assets.
Just check out these numbers for a second. The e-bike market is absolutely exploding, especially in tourist spots. For a startup cost of less than $7,000, you could be pulling in over $3,000 a week. But here's the really incredible part, the payback period. If you run this thing well, you can make your entire investment back in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks!
And this is a perfect example of a modern passive income business. I mean, forget about those old capital-heavy models like laundromats. With an e-bike rental business, you can just run a delivery service. No storefront needed. That keeps your overhead super low and lets you scale up your fleet whenever demand grows. Everyone dreams of owning an Airbnb, but the barrier to entry is just massive. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what's the alternative? Check out HipCamp. It's basically Airbnb, but for land. You can buy a few acres, throw up some simple glamping tents or RV hookups, and boom, you've got a cash-flowing asset for a fraction of what it costs to build a house.
Okay, for our last big category, let's talk about leveraging what you've got, whether that's capital or skills. This section covers everything from old-school investing to some really high-value tech services.
Getting true passive income from stocks isn't about trying to time the market. It's about getting paid to simply own a piece of a great company. That's what dividend investing is. So let's break down the math to earn just $100 a week. If you focus on really stable, reliable companies, you can build a solid income stream. But as you can see, it does take a pretty significant chunk of change to get started.
And looking ahead, a whole new class of digital assets is starting to pop up. I mean, imagine earning tiny royalties every single time an AI model is used, or leasing out shares in a fleet of automated drones that map farmland. This is where passive income is headed, investing in the actual infrastructure of the future.
But what if you don't have a couple $100,000 just lying around to invest? Well, you can invest your skills instead.
Seriously, one of the most underrated opportunities right now is helping local businesses with their marketing, but with a modern twist, using AI to make everything hyper-efficient and scalable.
So how many clients do you think you'd need to build a life-changing business with a model like that? You're probably thinking dozens, right? Maybe 100? Get this. The number is just 5.
Yep, that's it. 5. And that's the power of offering a high-value service. With just 5 clients paying you $2,000 a month, you've built a 6-figure business. And because AI is doing a lot of the heavy lifting, your profit margins can be absolutely massive. We're talking 70%.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, from branded dropshipping and e-bikes to AI agencies and dividend stocks. So now, let's tie it all together with the single most important idea behind all of this.
This right here is the core takeaway. The specific idea you pick, it's actually less important than your approach. Real financial freedom isn't about working harder and harder. It's about building efficient, scalable systems that make money whether you're actively working on them or not. That is the blueprint. And let's end with this little piece of wisdom. Look, the path to success has already been paved by other people. Your job isn't to come up with some revolutionary 1 in a billion idea, it's just to study the successful patterns, like the ones we've talked about, and figure out how to apply them in your own way. So, I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. From the digital creator world to real-world assets and high-value services, you've seen the patterns. The question is, which one are you going to make your own?